So you click, I will just go back one more second. So you go to www.dol.gov. The reason why we're going to this website is how to get your WDL number, so Washington Driver License Number. If you already have an ID, then you're good to go. But if you don't have an ID, then you need to do these steps. And then after that, you click here, License Express. If you are using your phone, then you just click Menu and then click License Express. Once you click License Express, if you already have login information, then you'll log in over here. If you don't have login information or you don't have an account, then you click Join In Now. Then once you click Join In Now, you get this page. Then you click License Express for individual. Then you continue. Then you put your first name, last name, continue. What do you get after you put first name and last name? When you click continue, what else do you get? What do you get? So make sure you keep that username and password safe. What I would recommend is write down before you move to the next. So and then you have to, they will send you an email. Then you have to click that email to verify. Anything you can mess up. Let's say your name plus three numbers of your phone, whatever. So make sure you keep that password and username safe. Once you do that, then they will send you an email. You have to activate your account. Let me know if you guys need some help. While you guys doing that, I will give you guys the book. What happened? You can make it. You can make it email right now. It takes a minute. You will need an email because now this I told you, so you will need an email. It could be your name and a phone number or something. Yeah, you have to have an email, so you create an email. Unless if you know that email, password, and phone number, it's better to have your own. If you can write down 01 then go up to whatever number. So anybody stuck? How far have you got? Then did you click your email and activate? So now go ahead, log in now. And then you got your WD and everything? Let me see. So you say you don't have so when you ask what you are applying for, you're applying for instructional like so some part of it is yours, some part of it is for your friends. Right? Yeah, say yes. Do you have a record with us? Say yes. You already have an ID. Say yes. And then they will ask you that information. All right. So that's how you get you. Once you give me that username and ID, then I will put into the system for you to get your permit. So let me do that right now. So Mohammed, this is for you. Once they send me their username and ID, so I go to dol.wa.gov, same place they went, I go to License Express, and then I will log in my information. So this is how we put their waiver in the system so that they can go get their permit. So once I log in, and then this will, I have to authenticate myself, so they'll send me an email for authentication. And then she already sent me her WDL number, which I'm gonna put right now. So these all are usually done by the receptionist. Okay, let me verify. 184024. So if you don't have that WDL number, you cannot get your money. So make sure you go through whole process to get that WDL. Then once I log in, this will come out. So I'll click the Roadshare Driving School, and then I'll go here, find a customer. And then I will find her. She sent me her WDL number. WDL 1Z8787C 31313B. So here it says, Mohammed, once I say find a customer, so I need to add a waiver. Add a waiver. I click there. I click the school name, and then next, and then course date, which is today, is the start of the course. June 24, next. And then before I submit, I have to print this page for the record. Just need the first page. Custom. Print. And then I submit. So now you can actually go log in. You can get your instructional permit. In order to get your permit, they require you, I think, $20, $20 or $24 or $20. I don't know which one is it. And then you just click get instructional permit, and then you print your permit, and then you can actually draft out from here. So I'll walk you guys through once we finish everything, how to get your permit. So you got your WDL number? Yeah. Okay. So this is how you basically get your permit. But at the end of the class, we are here to help you one by one individually, and we will go over. So now I want to take your attention to the policy sheet. Let me open our policies. So let's discuss about the policy sheet. Here's the policy. So it's a very important that you understand everything written in this sheet. This is basically a contract between you and the driving school and us. There's a lot of things we can do to help you, but at the same time, you guys need to help us. So it's a two-way. We help you and you help us, and we will succeed. I mean, we're gonna do that later on. We're gonna focus now. We're gonna start the class, and then I'll give you guys time for later on to get one-on-one. We'll help them. Yeah, whoever wants to help, yes. So now we are discussing the policy. The policy. So it's very important that you guys understand everything written in this. Anybody can, I need some volunteers to read me the first part of the policy sheet. Roadshare Driving School offers. Can somebody read for me the first part? Volunteers? Come on, I need the volunteers. Should I pick a name? Okay, I'll read the first part and then we're gonna go with that. So Roadshare Driving School offers a comprehensive teen driving education program designed to meet and exceed the requirements set by the Washington State Department of Licensing, DOL. So we'll use DOL a lot. So DOL stands for Department of Licensing. This program includes 30 hours of classroom instruction, which you guys already started. So every day we're gonna meet, the class meets Monday, Tuesday. Lisa cannot see the policy sheet. Okay, stop sharing, and then let me reshare again. You need to speak up if you cannot see it. All right, can you see right now? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
You have to say something because I won't be able, I'm teaching. So this class meets every day for 2 hours from 1 to 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For the next 5 weeks, you guys are stuck with me and I'm stuck with you guys until we pretty much completed the 30 hours. And this 30 hours is not something set by us, it's required by the Department of Licensing. A person might ask a question, hey, why am I taking this class? I can just let my parents help me to teach me, learn, and I can get my license. No, that's not true. If you want to get your license before the age of 18, then you have to take this class. So let's say if you're 15 and a half right now, in the next 4 months, 5, 6 months, you can get your license. By the time you're 16, you can get your license. But if you don't take the class, you have to wait until you are 18. Then you can get your license. So 30 hours, when do we meet these classrooms? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what time to what time? From 1 to 3. The good news and bad news. The good news is we are a very small class. So you guys, if you are able to come in person, it's excellent. You will gain a lot of benefits. At the same time, we also offer on a Zoom. Let's say you live very far and you have no ride. Instead of missing the class, join in on Zoom. So now this is a good place to give you guys the Zoom link. So write down this Zoom link, everybody. This is the Zoom link that you will need to join in the classroom. So usually the classroom, the Zoom link opens around, I'll say 12:50, 12:55. So 10 to 5 minutes before class. The Zoom link is 263-724-2079. Again, the Zoom link is 263-724-2079. The only requirement I ask you guys, if you are joining on Zoom, you already paid the money or your parents paid the money for you, so take advantage of it. There's a lot of information that we'll be discussing that will help you throughout your driving journey. So don't just turn on the Zoom on, and then you're doing some other things. So make sure you focus. From time to time, I'll call out your name and ask you a question. I'll repeat twice. I'll say, for example, Hamza, can you read number 1? If I don't get any response, I'll give you like a couple seconds. I'll say again, Hamza, can you read number 1? I'll give you like a couple of seconds. And if I'm not getting any response, that means you're absent. You're not on a Zoom link. So from time to time, I'm going to just randomly select somebody just to make sure that you are with me. I don't want you just to log in Zoom and then you are completely doing other things. So if you have to, then go ahead, more than welcome to join in Zoom, and I will try to make it interactive, the Zoom link. So again, it's a 30 hours, so 5 weeks, 5 times. So we can meet here 5 weeks starting today already for 2 hours. And I'll give you guys a break. Probably we'll have a break 10 minutes every hour. So right now, what is the requirement? What are the requirements for you to take this class? What do you have to, how old you need to be? Number 1, can somebody read number 1? Yes, so if you are 15 years of age, you can join in the class. So if you know any of your friends, they think that, hey, I need to be 16, I cannot take the class. No, they can join in as soon as they are 15 today, or tomorrow they'll be 15, they can join in the class. Permit. The student must obtain their permit from the DOL office or online by bringing it along with the photo ID if it is non for the permit to all driving and testing appointments. So after the first 3 weeks, which we're going to go over it, then you guys will start driving. When you're driving, you have to have your permit with you at all times. So if you're practicing with your parents, make sure you keep your permit in your wallet at all times. You cannot drive without your permit, period. Attendance. A student can miss up to 3 classes. The course lasts 5 to 7 weeks, depending on which course you are enrolled. So the course that you guys are enrolled only lasts for 5 weeks. There are people who enroll only Saturday and Sunday courses, and those courses last for 7 weeks. You are enrolled all requirements must be complete within 4 months. So what does it mean? So your course, your tests, your knowledge tests, final tests, the driving lessons, everything from today, so you have 4 months to complete. So there is no excuse saying, hey, I didn't have time, I couldn't complete it. If 4 months pass and you haven't completed what you're supposed to complete, guess what? You have to retake everything again. You don't want to pay again. So you have 4 months. Is 4 months enough time? It is, because the class finishes in 1 month. Then you have 3 months to do your driving and all that other things. So you guys can finish it. Communication. Most communication is through email, phone, call, or text, or message. So I already provide you guys the office phone. If nobody answering, because let's say you have a drive tomorrow and you call the office today, nobody's answering, and you did not leave message, and you did not leave text message. So how would I know that you are telling the truth? You have to show me some sort of a proof that you actually called, either text message or voicemail. Leave one of them. Don't just say nobody's answering the phone and just hang up. No. Call. If the phone is ringing, nobody, leave voicemail. If you don't like you don't have a good voice like me, it's okay. Text message. Hey, this is Hamza. I have a drive tomorrow, and due to some emergency, I cannot make it. Then we understand, and we'll go over as we come through. You'll see. Payments. Full payment is required before the start of the course unless payment arrangement is made with the administration. So those of you guys who can pay everything by today, excellent. But life always, there's some sort of difficulties. Family don't get paid. So you can talk to us. We can make some arrangement. If this arrangement is made, then you are fine. Course duration. So requirement is, again, 30 hours, and we have to complete within 5 weeks. Number 7. What's number 7? Can somebody read number 7 for me? Which I'll discuss about the final. Let's actually discuss right now. So at the end of this whole course, at the end of the 5 weeks, there will be a final exam. We want to help you guys. We know you guys have a life. Do you guys have a life? And you guys have a life. I don't want to say family, but game, probably summer job, school, summer school, homework, tests, all that. We understand. We get that. So we made it very easy for you guys to pass. At the end of every chapter, there are 5 questions. You know what I did? I just took 2 to 3 questions from those, and I put all together and made it a final exam, which you guys will see it once we start the chapters. Every chapter has 5 questions, which you guys will have the answer, the questions. Basically, I'm giving you guys everything here. Just make sure you read and understand and pass easy. So you have to get 80% to pass. Let's say for whatever reason you did not pass. What's next? You can always retake. You can always retake, and you don't have to pay. It's a free, unlimited. But just make sure you study. There are 15 chapters. So 15 times 3, so it's about 60 to 65 questions. Yeah, give and take. But it's very easy, you guys will understand. So exams, if students fail the final exam, they must retake as early as possible. So let's say today's our final exam, you fail the exam. Let's say the makeup class is tomorrow, or let's say next week. Don't say, I'm gonna wait the one that next month. Don't wait too long. How long you have to finish everything? In 4 months. So as the sooner you do it, the easier it gets. Parents must attend an informational session, which is the first day of class. Since we don't have any parents today, but I will make either the final day of a class for all you parents to come and attend. Why? Because we cannot do it together. We need your parents' involvement at the same time. So we want to give some information to the parents so they can help you succeed. From their experience, their driving, the accident that they get involved, so they can pass on some of those information to you. Special needs, contact us before enrolling if the student has any, if there's any special needs, anything that you don't want to discuss in front of the class, you want to privately, you can always talk to us and we are willing to accommodate. The students cannot enroll in a driving education course after the first 3 classes has been completed. So this means today is our first class, tomorrow is going to be our second class, and then Wednesday is going to be our third class. If you take those 3 classes, and then for whatever reason you say, you know what, I changed my mind, I can't stand with this instructor, I want to drop off the class. Too late, you cannot. And this is DOL required. You are stuck with me until the end of the course. And I'll be stuck with you guys until the end of the course. So if you want to back up your mind, if you want to change your mind, this is the time. Anybody's thinking dropping the class? No? Okay, good. We're on the same page. So after the whole course, everything is finished, then we have behind the wheel training. So this basically is driving lessons. So we'll start our driving lesson. So you have your package comes with 6 hours of a driving lessons. On your driving lessons, make sure, and then one observation. So observation basically means I'm driving with Hamza, then let's say Abdul Khalid comes in the back, just observe, see how Hamza is doing. That's basically what it means, observation. So on your driving lessons, bring the physical permit and photo ID at all lessons. Every time you have a drive, you bring your permit with you. 6 driving lessons and 1 observation are required. Driving lessons usually start between the 2nd and the 3rd week of a class. So 2nd week or the 3rd week of the class, we will start your driving lesson. We will schedule you. Scheduling practice. Practice driving for 2 to 4 hours between lessons. Reschedule or cancel lessons at least 2 business days in advance to avoid $80 cancellation fee. This is very, very important for you guys to understand. When we schedule you for a drive, basically that means, let's say me and Hamza, we have a driving lessons at 1 p.m. I'm here sitting 1 p.m. waiting for you to come. And let's say you feel like, you know what, I don't feel like going to driving today. I'll just go my next drive. You did not call us. You did not cancel. I'm sitting waiting here. Guess what? I will get paid regardless whether I drive you or not. But who's going to pay that? It's you. So if you have something, we understand, emergency, something comes up, at least give us a call 2 days before, if possible. If not, 24 hours in advance. Hey, I have something emergency tomorrow. I cannot come for my drive. So I can give that slot to somebody else. So make sure if you don't call, no show will cost you $80. And let's say you decided you don't want to pay this $80. We said the DOL requires you to have 6 drivers in order for you to have a course completion, a certificate that you complete everything. And you only had 5 drives. Guess what? I cannot put your course completion into the system. You have to complete your last drive. And in order for you to complete the last drive, you have to pay $80. So to avoid this very easy, you have both numbers, call us, text us, leave us voice message. You need to avoid this. You don't want to pay. At least I'll say, I'll be honest with you guys. At least one or two of you guys will pay me this $80. I know that for sure, because sometimes people they just do this. They say, "Hey, I'm working. I'm making at my work today. Let's say $120. So you know what? I can pay $80. I get extra $40. So I just need to pick up that shift. Yeah, you can do that. Just pay me." All courses and the course requirement must be completed within 4 months. So you have 4 months to complete everything. Certificate upon course completion, we notify the Department of Licensing electronically, typically within 3 weeks. But we are very fast. We can notify them within a week, and then you'll get everything completed, and then you can start your license. And then at the end of the course, we'll discuss about organ donors. Awareness will be shown on the last day of the class. Refunds. Before class, you will get full refund if you cancel or change your mind 10 days before the class starts. After the class starts, 50% of refund if canceled within first week before the second class. No refunds after the second class or if a permit waiver was used. So if you give me your DL number, I put your permit information, you got your permit, and you said, "Hey, I got my permit, I don't need the class." Sorry, you're not getting your money back. So what do you need to get your driver license? We talked about the permit, now we'll talk about getting your driver license. Pass both the knowledge test and the driving test. So if you pass the knowledge test, which is the permit test, which we're going to go over on the class, and then you pass the driving test before you reach 18, let's say you're 16, and then we put that in the system, you go to the Department of Licensing, you just go get your license. Then we do all the tests and everything here. So you do not have to see anybody else to do your testing. I'll be teaching you how to drive. I'll be teaching you the class. I'll be testing you on your driving test. I'll be testing you on your knowledge test. So pretty much you guys stuck for the rest. I don't want to say your life, but for the next, until you get your driver license. Yes. Then we put that in the system and you go to the Department of License, get your license. Scheduling. So confirm eligibility before register, reschedule or cancel test 2 business days in advance. Late cancellation, no show fee request purchase a new test. Knowledge test. So the knowledge test is the test that is provided by the Department of Licensing, but we administer. There are 40 questions, multiple choice. By the time you finish this course, you will have almost, I would say, 60% of these questions already will be discussed in the class. And then you only have to study 40%. That will be there you just read the book, Roadshare Driver's Guide, which we'll go over again. And you have to, the minimum is to pass the test, you have to get 80% to pass. Reference, so we discussed about intermediate driver license. So these are something, intermediate driver license. Basically, once you get your driver license, let's say you are 16, you get your driver license. You have to be 16 to get your license. Have had your permit for at least 6 months. So starting from today, the sooner you get your permit, that's when the time starts. So today, I'll put all the waivers on. You guys will help you get your permit. You have 6 months from today to get your license. Any question on this? Sometimes people have any question. So you have 6 months from today to get your license. So after you finish all the courses, all the requirements within 4 months, when can you get your license? 6 months. So, and this rule is set by the Department of License. I just copy and paste it in here. So you have, after 6 months, you can do your driving test and get your license. And then you're on your own by then. And then this number 4 is very, very important. What does it say, number 4? Can somebody read for me? So let's be realistic. 6 hours of driving that we will teach you. You think you can learn how to drive in 6 hours? So that is why it's very, very important. The parent has to be involved. Either it could be your parent, it could be your guardian, it could be anybody. They need to give you practice. So every lesson we give you, we wanted you to have at least 2 hours. That's why the lessons are apart. Every week you can only take 1 lesson. And the reason why they do that is they need to give you time to practice for 2 hours. So let's say today we went to freeway driving. you need 2 hours with your parent or guardian, 2 more hours to drive on the freeway. So it just builds up. You will give you the foundation, but the practice and all that you need to get to your parents. So you have to have within 6 months, you by the end of the 6 months, you have to have your 50 hours. 40 hours daytime, 10 hours nighttime. Is that a lot of hours? 50 hours. And trust me, when you practice, let's say your mom want to go to grocery, you want to go to the grocery. She wants to go to the grocery. You can actually drive for her. We'll give you a log sheet, which is in the book. I'll show you this later on. Tell, hey, mom, let me drive you there. Record even 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. Every time you drive, don't be little, just record in somewhere. Hey, I drove this time. That will add up to 50 hours. And then within that 6 months, so no traffic violation or pending ticket. So you cannot get ticket when you are an intermediate driver license. And also have no drugs and alcohol, no drugs, no alcohol. For the first 6 months, no passenger under 20 unless they are immediate family member. So when you have your intermediate license, basically they put some restriction. There are something you can do, some things you cannot do. So when you have your license, let's say you are 16, you got your license, you cannot have your friend, you cannot have your friend as a passenger if he is under the age of 21. So let's say your friend is 19 years old, you cannot have him as a passenger. You guys know why? Because sometimes friends, they say it's cool for them to speed up. It's cool for them to swerve. So that's why they're not going to stop you. So unless if that person is your brother or your sister. After that, no more than 3 passengers under 21, under 20, or are not family members. No driving between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. when you're 16. So now we're discussing, now you're fully licensed. You have your license, you're 16, you have your license. You cannot drive between 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Anybody knows the reason why? Who drives this time usually? Crackheads, drunk drivers. Yep, crackheads, drunk drivers. You're driving slowly. These guys coming out of nowhere, just get you out of the way. So if you don't like your life, then go ahead. But you cannot drive 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. unless with a license over 25 years old. But let's say your mom is in their car. Yes, you can drive. We're talking about by yourself. And then final thing is no using cell phone while driving. It is too dangerous. If you want a complete detail of these rules are in the DOL website. Okay, once everything you guys read, all that, I understand the parent guardian officer, your name is gonna go up here. So you guys go ahead now, take out your folder, put your full name in here. Actually, this part is your parents. Did you guys want to fill out? Okay, so your parent, your mom or your dad or your guardian will fill out this part, your full name. They'll put your full name here, and then they will put their initial. This is your parent. You can see that? So your parents will put your name in there, your full name, and then they will initial your parent. Once that is finished, so go ahead, put your full name over here if you did not already did. Get your folder, and if you need a pen, I have a pen. Did you already fill out? Okay, if you need to fill out, you already fill out. Okay, and you sign there. Your parents will put their full name here, and then they will sign here. And those who are on Zoom, whenever you get a chance, make sure you stop by the office to do this. You just have to communicate with me. And then that's it. That's the only thing we need. Any question on this policy? Are we good? Any questions? All right, now we will start our class. So I'm stop sharing, but I'm gonna start the actual Zoom. Let me get the first chapter of the class. Mohammed, are you logged in? All right, I'm gonna share and then see what you tell me what you see. bigger. Okay, share screen. Okay, let me just fix my setting. There's a lot of information that we are discussing today, but for whatever reason, anytime you guys have something you're not understanding, it's not making sense, always just ask me. We can have a one-on-one. Zoom. Share screen. All right, before I begin, do you guys see the screen? Everything clear? The person who's on Zoom, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, I can see it.
All right. All right. Let's see. Am I still recording? I'm assuming. Okay, I'm still recording. Okay. So everybody has a book. So whenever you get a chance, whenever you come back, make sure to come grab a textbook and a workbook. So on that textbook, the big one, everybody has a textbook. So this textbook, you have to return at the end of the classroom. But every day you take it home with you. At the end of the class, when we finish everything, at the end of the month, the 5 weeks, then you bring back, we need these books because we reuse these books. And every book has a number, so that number is assigned to your name. So on here, I'll have that number next to it. That number, basically, that book. If you, in case, lose this book, or you rip it off, or whatever happens, it will cost you $30. We're not charging extra. It costs us $30 to get this book, so it's gonna cost you $30. So you don't have to sweat. If you lose or anything, you can come and get another one and just pay the $30. Okay, so do not write anything on this book because we will reuse, other students will be reusing these books. But this is the workbook. So the workbook is for you to write it down. So there will be some questions and answers. All the end of the chapter question will be writing on this workbook. So it is for you to keep it. Any questions on that? So this is for you to keep it. This comes back to us. Okay. So we'll start chapter 1 of a driving license. So usually it's always on your workbook. So open on page 3 of your student workbook. Page 3. So there are three, you see that on the left, yeah, on the right corner, there's 1 through 5. Do you guys see that? 1 through 5 on the right corner. So you can write this. There are 5 questions, beginning of the chapter, and the 5 questions at the end of the chapter. Sometimes they are almost similar with small variation. You guys will see it. So we'll start with the pre-chapter questions just to understand how is your understanding of a driving. So what does GDL stand for? Anybody? Take a guess. A, B, C, D. A, good driving lesson. B, gear differential lock. I don't even know what that means. C, graduated driver license. So what do you need to do to get your license? You have to graduate from this course. So the answer is C, graduated driver license. So where do you write that? On number 1, under number 1. Here's a pen. If anybody wants pen, here's a pen. So you write down on under number 1. Do you see number 1? On the right corner. C. So write down C over there because you will need these answers for later on you study for the test. Question number 2. Successfully completing a driver education course will guarantee that you become a safe driver. So by completing this driving school or driving lessons or driving class, will that guarantee you that you'll be a safe driver? It depends. I don't know. I'll say 50-50. If you put the information and the knowledge into practice, probably 50-50. What do you guys think? True or false? Huh? Yeah, it is false. Yeah, false. Well, this class will help you get your driving license, but cannot guarantee that you will become a safe driver. I have no control what you do outside the classroom. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So number 2 is B, false. Nearly blank all new drivers are either charged with a traffic offensive or involved in a crash during their first year of licensed driving. What do you guys think? I'll tell you a story about when I got my license. First, I think the 3 days after I got my license, I drove to Vancouver. I was going somewhere and I was driving over 120 miles an hour. And I got my first ticket in 3 days. But luckily, my car broke down. Otherwise, I was going to get into an accident. So don't follow what I did. So what do you guys think? 50%, 1/4, 2/3, 3/4. What do you guys think? See? 2/3. Any other guesses? D, 3/4. I need one last guesses. D, 50%. Yeah, 50% of the people, they either get a traffic driving or they just do something. Why? Because they're excited. They got their license. They call their neighbors, hey, I got my license. You want to go out? Yes, let's go. Especially if you have your own cars. Yeah, 50% of the people, they get their ticket in first year. They call it either you make it or you don't. So either you make it for the whole year without getting any tickets. If you start getting tickets before the first year, you'll keep getting tickets. So don't do it. The answer is B, 50%, one half. New drivers tend to blank the risk involved in driving on any roads. What is the number one common thing new drivers do or tends to do? Huh? It has to be one of these. A, B, C, D. What do you guys think? D, pay no attention to. Another guesses? B, underestimate. Yes, they underestimate. The problem is they're driving, they underestimate the consequences of speeding. They say that sometimes they underestimate, they see a yellow light, they say, you know what, make it before it turns red. What does yellow means? Make it before it turns red? Fast? No, yellow means slow down. Do whatever you can do to slow down. So the answer is B, underestimate. Okay, the final question is, driving coaches can be more effective if they, what do you guys think? Eh? What is it? D? What do you guys think? You guys agree? Driving coaches can be effective if they do all the above. When you have the schedule, when you have pre-trip plans, it's not just let's go with the flow. No, you don't go with the flow. You have some sort of a planned schedule. Even when we do our driving, and I will show you guys something you guys can actually use it as we go through the chapters. So D, all the above. So in this chapter, there are a lot of things. We'll be discussing about the driver license, the facts about the teen driving, understanding the risk, and other things. So when you are driving, it comes so anytime you have something or you are anytime you are given something or you want to do something, it always comes with responsibilities. Same thing. Let's say, for example, you got a new job. Do you have some responsibility on that job? Yes, sir. Let's say you just got a new shoes. You take care. You have to, you're not going to just walk anywhere you want to walk. You'll be careful where you're going to walk. So there's some sort of a responsibility. Same thing when it comes to a driver license. When you get your driver license, there's a lot of responsibilities comes with that. You are responsible people who are driving on the road. You're responsible following the rules of the road. You are responsible following the traffic lights, all that. So there always comes with a responsibility. So driver license, the driver license, what is the driver license? Do you think driver license is a right or is it a privilege? Is it something that you have a right to have a driver license or is it a privilege that somebody is giving you a privilege to drive? What do you guys think? Is it a privilege or is it a right? Because somebody might say, you know what, hey, I pay the money, I'm taking the class, I'm doing everything what I'm supposed to do. Therefore, I have a right to get a driver license. Is that true? Huh? No, it's not. It's not a privilege. It's not a right. It's a privilege. The Department of Licensing is giving you the privilege for you to drive. They can take it away anytime they want to take it away from you if you don't follow the rules. So it's not a right. It is a privilege. So what is a driver license? So let's watch a video. So this whole presentation, there are videos, presentations, me talking. Is it okay?
I can't hear it.
Can you hear it? Isha, can you
No,
hear
I
it?
cannot hear it. No.
I think something wrong with your thing problem. Let me just see my audio.
Let me rejoin.
Let's say play for. This is part of the technology. With the technology, there's always a lot of. So let me play. Are you able to hear? Can you hear me?
No,
North
but I can
America
read the
has the
caption.
largest
Oh, I
and
can hear now.
safest highway
Okay, I
transportation
got it.
system in the world, with more
So you have
freeways,
to
traffic
you
lights,
have to switch
cars,
the
drivers,
sound
more
on
everything
the
than
rest.
anywhere else. Although it may seem complicated, there are actually only 3 components to the highway transportation system: roadways, vehicles, and drivers. First is the system of over 4 million miles of roadways. These roadways have been engineered to help traffic move efficiently and safely over every mile, with control devices where roads cross or join together. The roadway system features all types of roads, on which people drive in all types of conditions. The second component is the collection of vehicles that operate on U.S. roadways. All kinds of vehicles operate on the roads. They operate at different speeds and are in different conditions, from brand new to vehicles that need a little attention. These differences can make for a complex driving environment. To survive it, we must know what other drivers might do, and we need to be aware of our own vehicle's limitations and how to adjust to them. The third element of the highway transportation system is the driver. Unfortunately, drivers are not exactly the safest element. More than 9 out of 10 crashes involve driver error. Of course, all drivers are different. They vary tremendously in terms of skill, knowledge, judgment, and driving habits. As a result, some are very safe, and others are everything but safe. Many of the everything but are new drivers. Newly licensed 16-year-olds. How do they compare with the average driver? For every mile they drive, they are 10 times more likely than an adult driver to have a crash. Even compared to 18-year-olds, they're twice as likely to experience a crash. Why is this? Are new drivers maniacs? Daredevils? No, but young drivers tend to drive differently compared to experienced drivers. They tend to drive too fast and pay less attention to driving. Plus, their visual searching and space management skills are not as developed as experienced drivers. And because of their inexperience, young drivers make more mistakes behind the wheel, like entering a curve a little too fast and going into a skid, or failing to see a pedestrian who steps into the street, or being distracted and not noticing that traffic has stopped.
All right, so there are three components of the highway transportation system, which you're going to be answering soon in your workbook. So on page, what page is it? So on page 3 of your student workbook, anytime I see student workbook, I mean this book. You will see a table in which to write the three components of the highway transportation system. What are the three components of the highway transportation system? You write down on the right side over here on this video. 1, 2, 3. What is number 1? I'll give you guys the number 1 are the roads. So what is the road used for? What is number 2? Vehicles, yes, cars. And then number 3, drivers. Who's driving those vehicles? Users, road users, i.e. the drivers. So number 1 is the roads. Number 2, what is the roads used for? Vehicles, the cars. And who's driving the cars? The drivers, i.e. the road users. And then we said almost 90% of the errors, of the mistakes are done by who? The drivers. So you have to be very attentive and you have to be very looking careful anytime you're driving on the roads, depending on what type of the roads that you're going to be driving. It's almost an hour. So let's take our 10-minute break and then we're going to get back to each other. So you guys can either, let me just pause this. Pause it. All right. So we said the three components of the HTC highway transportation system are, what are they? Roads, vehicles, and the drivers. So when we say roads, there are different types of roads. As you can see on your, which we're going to discuss on page 3 of your student workbook. That circle, that indication of what kind of types of roads. So we have a pavement roads, we have a gravel roads, dirty roads, city roads, highway. You have all types of roads when you are driving on the road. So every road requires different attention. Every road requires different speed limits. When you are turning, sometimes when it's snow, is it the same when it's snowing and when it's raining and when it's sunny? Is it going to be the same when you're driving? So every road you have to understand the road condition and the type of road when you're driving. That will determine how fast you can go. So sometimes you will see an icy road, sometimes you will be driving on a concrete road, sometimes you'll be driving on the roads where there are neighborhoods, there's a school near school areas. Are you going to be driving the same way if you're driving on a city and when you're driving on the school areas? Because kids are crossing, so you have to be very careful, you have to be alert. And then sometimes you will be driving on a highway. Let's say if you're going on a trip, you might be going in between mountains, or sometimes you might be going on an uphill, downhill. So it all depends on what type of road that you are driving on will determine how to drive and how carefully you need to be when you are driving. So this is a video shows a guardrail testing. So basically, sometimes when you So when you driving on a types of roads, so sometimes they will put a guardrail, sometimes there's no guardrails. So let's say, for example, if there was no guardrail on this road, what would have happened to this truck? Exactly, they might be falling into the bushes. So that's why when you are turning, you have to slow down. Otherwise, don't assume there's always going to be something that's going to stop you. So it prevented it from actually going off the road. And then we'll see another test that is done. And so now we are discussing the second types of the HTC. What was the second type? First, we said the road. Second was so vehicle. So there are different types of
Full scale test initiating countdown. 10. 5.
So manufacturers spend billions of dollars to do this kind of testing to see how protective their vehicles are. What is the reason why they do this? Why they spend this all billions of dollars, millions of dollars to do this type of testing? What is the number one reason? Safety. For who? For them or for the driver? So because when you buy a car, what is the first thing comes to your mind? How protective this car is. How safe is it? In case if I get involved in an accident, would I have some left over from my body or would I be crushed together? So always when you're thinking buying a car, always think safety first. They do this kind of testing just to make sure that their cars are safe for their occupants, because sometimes they get sued if the car is not, it doesn't have a lot of safety features. Let's see this other video. It's again, Volvo rollover. So as you can see, I mean, manufacturers, they go great length of making sure that their car can protect the occupancy, i.e. the drivers, even in the worst type of crashes. And Volvos, I mean, they are one of the expensive cars. They're not cheap. And that's why one of the main reasons is because they put a lot of time and effort to make sure that it has a lot of safety features in their cars. And then the last thing of the HTC components are drivers, i.e. road users, drivers, they are all same thing. So drivers, when we say drivers, what type of drivers do you see sometimes on the road? There are a lot of types of drivers, different kinds of drivers on the road. You'll see somebody who's old, young, new drivers, experienced drivers. So you see all kind, and also impaired drivers. What are the impaired drivers? What's impaired? Do you guys know the word impaired? Impaired basically means somebody who is crackhead, he smoke too much, or he drink too much of alcohol, and he's just going to drive. And sometimes you'll see somebody who is very angry, mad, had problem with his wife or with her husband, and now they just want to head on the road. They're just driving, not careful, everything. So you will see all types of drivers on the road. So you have to be keep in mind. Sometimes somebody cuts you up as you're driving. Don't say, why did this person cut me up? Think about how many things going on in their mind or in their heads. So always just be alert. And then road users. So when we say road users, basically means anybody or any kind of animals, person crossing on the road. So anybody who's walking on that road or crossing on that road is considered a road user. So animals considered road users, bicycles, motorcycles, scooters, people, cars, trucks, basically anybody who crosses that road is considered a road user. So you have responsibility to be aware of who they are and what is going on. So as a driver, you must monitor the traffics and the traffic control devices. So one of your responsibilities once you start driving, getting your license, always looking straight ahead, scanning the road, looking, knowing what is happening. Because sometimes you might be just driving and not know what's in front of you, what's ahead of you. The road might be closed. There might be a car broke down on the street. There might be somebody just sitting there. There could be a lot of things. So you always have to be aware of your surroundings. So monitor the traffic control device, observe and also anticipate what that person might do. Let's say you're driving and you see somebody standing on the corner of the road. So you have to anticipate, or you have to assume, you know what, this person is trying to cross the road, so let me slow down, let me be careful. And then the other thing you have to do is, as you guys are taking these classes, is you have to learn the rules of the road, and also you have to comply the rules of the road. So you need to search, scan, look around, and if you see something, decide what to do or what is the best possible option do I have by the time I get to that road. So you will see this image again and again throughout the whole chapters will be coming this. So read the road. R stand for what? The ride speed for right now. What does that mean? The ride speed for right now? Not necessarily. What is the ride speed for right now? Earlier we said there are different types of roads, and also there are different types of road conditions. So the ride speed for right now it might not be same. Let's say, for example, the road that you should drive is 30 miles an hour. Normal days. Clear day, normal, 30 miles an hour. But let's say it's raining heavily. So what's going to be your ride speed for right now at that moment? Would it be 30 miles an hour? Can you even drive 30 miles an hour? You might be a slipper and everything. So the ride speed for right now depends on the road condition that you are driving at that moment. So nighttime is not same speed limit as the daytime. When it's sunny and when it's snowy, when it's raining, might not be same ride speed for right now. And then eyes up, brains on. What does that mean? Okay, that is good. What else? Have you seen those people who are driving and they're shaking their head left and right? What are they doing? Is their mind on the road or their mind is on the music? Yeah, so they're just driving and they're shaking back and their forward everywhere. and then they're just moving around, dancing while they're driving inside the car. So your eyes, when you're driving, your life is at risk, either from other road users or within yourself. So you have to be very, very careful. So eyes up means your eyes should be on the road, not on changing the music or not focusing on the radio or not checking your phone, none of that. Your eyes should be right on the road and your mind is looking around, seeing what's happening in front of you. And then A stands for anticipate their next move. What does that mean? Exactly. So let's say you're driving next to another car. Assume that this car might come into your lane, or assume that this car might lose control and just hit on your car on the side. Just make sure you are alert and you're ready. Anticipate what this car next to you might do. So anticipate what their next move might be. And then the final thing is big donuts of space around you. So when you're driving, you have 4 spaces. You have control only one, and you have no control of the other 3 spaces. So which one do you have control when you're driving? Huh? So when you are driving, when I'm driving a car, I have I have 4 spaces. I only have control of one, and I don't have control of the 3 other ones. So which one do you have control of it? Let's say I'm driving straight. On my right, there's a car. On my left, there's a car. In front of me, there's a car. Behind me, there's a car. So I'm in the middle. Out of these 4, which one do I have control? Huh? Yes, so the space I have control is the one in front of me. Do I have control of the one in the back? What about if he's getting too close to me? Can I do anything about it? No. What about the one on my right side? I can't do anything about it. The left, I can't do anything. The only space I have is the one in front of me. And that's why big donuts of the space around you. So you always maintain 4-second distance between you and the car in front of you. So the right speed for right now, it's not same when it's normal roads, when it's sunny, when it's raining, the speed is different. So when it's raining, automatically by default, your speed will decrease by how much? 10 miles an hour. Let's say if you were driving 30 miles an hour and right away started raining heavily, you will decrease your speed by 10 miles an hour. So from 30, you'll be driving 20 miles an hour. How many people are killed each year in a motor vehicle crashes? What do you guys think? How many people are killed, die due to car accidents every year? Every year. What do you guys think? Take a guess. 100? 100 people? 100,000? That's a little bit too much. Close. A little bit too much. Each year, there are about 30,000 people dying. So 30,000 people means 3 full of airplane crashing every year. Each airplane holds about 100,000. So it's about every week. So it's about 2 to 3 airplane crashing every single week. That's how many people die every year. So there are total about 30,000 people. Or another way to look at it is it's almost one large cruise ship sinking every month. That's how many people die every year. So it's about 30,000 people die every year. But there's a good news and the bad news. The good news is all these things can be prevented. But the bad news is 90% of these accidents are caused by who? Me and you, by the drivers. So 90% can be prevented if we all follow the rules and if we all drive carefully. But unfortunately, it's not happening. So you guys will be considered one of these statistics once you get your license and start driving. Now we'll discuss about the crash factors. So the actual crash, so the drivers themselves may only be part of the issue. In fact, a crash could be caused by one of the three main elements in the HTC. So when accident happens, it could be caused by one of the three things, HTC. Either it could be caused by the car manufacturing defect, something happens, you lose the brakes or something, or it could be caused by the road, or it could be caused by the drivers. So one of these three things is possible when accident happens. But 90% of this could be prevented. So now I'm going to test you guys understanding on page 3 of your student workbook. Do you guys see that circle? So we will read something and then we will see who is the cause of the accident. So take a closer look at possible causes for crashes. On page 3 of your student workbook, you will see a round circle diagram. In the center is a crash, and the surrounding is a variety of factors that could have been involved. Each one of these factors can be traced back to one of the three. So anytime an accident happens, you have to look one of these three, which one was the main cause of the accident. And that's what we're going to do right now. Either it could be the vehicle, or it could be the road, or it could be the driver. There are also 3 boxes, one for each of these 3 elements. So take a minute to write each crash factor into just one of these 3 buckets. For example, write the word wet road into one of the 3 boxes and so on. But we'll do one example together so you guys understand. So let's take number 1, which is the loss of brakes. Do you guys see the loss of brakes on the circle, the blue one? So the loss of the brakes, what is the root cause? Let's say somebody lost the brakes and got into an accident. So who is the root cause of that? What is the root cause of that accident? Huh? Vehicle? So loss of the brakes, I mean, that is the vehicle. So because the manufacturer has some sort of or whoever mechanic that fixed that brakes, so that probably, so we always look what was the root cause and who caused that, what is the root cause? So loss of brakes, we said, is the vehicle is the root cause of that. Now let's talk pathhole. Pathhole basically is the road that has a hole. What is the root cause? Roadway, yes, that is correct. Any questions before we move on? So now this is very tricky. So when we say the root cause, so you write down those answers in here on your book. So now let's see, snow-covered road. Snow-covered road. Snow-covered road. What is the root cause? Roadway. What do you guys think? I told you guys this was tricky. Snow-covered on the road. Let's say it's not covered on the road and you start driving and you get into an accident. Can the snow cause an accident? But who made the choice to drive on the snow? The driver. So who is the root cause? You understand? Or should I go back a little bit? Any confusion? So what about wet roads? Of course it's the road. What do you guys think? Wet road. Huh? What do you think? The road? Wet road. The road is wet. Let's say it's heavily rain and the road is wet. There's a lot of water. Can the water cause an accident? Does the water has a will to get a can? So who caused the accident? Can the vehicle drive by itself? No. But who moved that vehicle? The root. We discussed about the root cause, but the root cause. Who made the choice to drive on the roadway? You did, so it's you, is the driver. Does that make sense? So the driver is the one who made the choice to drive on a rainy day. Nobody else forced. The road didn't tell you, come on, drive on me. Merging, this is a little bit tricky too. Merging. So merging basically means I'm driving, I want to merge into the right lane. So I merge into the right lane and I got into an accident. Merging. So you guys understand merging, it's like lane changing. So what is the root cause of the accident? The engineer did not design the roads very well, so it's the engineer guy, huh? Or the road. Who's it? The driver, yes. So always is who is the one who's doing the action. Don't look at the actual thing, look the person behind that thing. So the driver. Oh, this is easy. You guys can get this one. Sharp curve. Huh? Sharp curve. Can the curve come and drive the car? Can the curve take you and hit you into an accident? No. So who's the root cause? Driver. Low tire pressure. Of course, it's the car. This is easy. What do you guys think? Low tire pressure. Huh? Of course, it's the vehicle. What do you guys think? Huh? Exactly. Can the tire drive car by itself? Yeah. So whose responsibility to check the tire? Whose responsibility to change the tire if they see it was low pressure? Is the driver. So I remember earlier we said 90% of the error is caused by the drivers. So what makes you think now? So you see why 90% of the mistakes are done by us drivers, not by the roads, not by the weather, not by this, but everybody. But the common thing as a human being, we like to blame everything else except ourselves. I get into an accident. Yeah, you know what? Because it was the traffic. But because I stopped and my brakes were not. I will never say because it's my fault, I was not paying attention. So you see how dangerous it could be sometimes. So 90% of the time it is us, the drivers, who is causing these mistakes. We'll stop here. And if anybody wants help, continue getting their permit. We are ready and willing to help you guys.